turn on your notification bell. You will still get those information you are looking for.
We are not hopeless, though we might be in a critical condition, Peter Obi is saying. That is talking about the Labour Party presidential candidate. Peter Obi said Nigeria's challenges are critical. After all, they are critical, but they are not insurmountable. Yes, that's what Peter Obi says. So Nigeria should not lose hope. The former governor of Anambra State said this in a series of tweets on his Twitter handle on Sunday, adding that getting things done the right way will get the country out of its current woes. He said, I will say that while Nigeria's situation is critical, it is not yet hopeless. That might be a clique, but that is the reality. As I have always said, in the mission to rescue Nigeria, there is no tribe, religion, or class. Indeed, there can be no consensus objector. He went on, we are challenged by high youth unemployment, which stands at 33.3%, 54% for the youth, and 20 million out-of-school children. We must give this country back to the Nigerian youths. Half of our 200 million people are below the age of 30. The median age of this country stands at 17.9%, showing that Nigeria has incredible potential to develop if she harnesses the demographic dividends intelligently. Harnessing our national youth strength must start with curbing the high youth unemployment and creating funding access to enable our youths become entrepreneurs and drivers of our small and medium-scale enterprises. We must fund education more robustly by tweaking the UBEC and the TED Fund. Economics is driven by the laws of efficiency. We must return to the path of production that results in production and wealth creation and eventually results in massive employment and poverty alleviation. That's what Peter Obi said. You see, said Nigeria should not be hopeless, said the situation has not gotten to the point that people should feel despondent and hopeless. Said there is still way out, there is still solution, there is still light at the end of the tunnel. But Nigeria is not in the tunnel. When you say there will be light or there is light at the end of the tunnel, no be person will enter tunnel. When Nigeria never enter tunnel, you dey talk of light at the end. Look, let's face reality. Peter Obi want to become president of Nigeria, so he will say anything. The situation in reality is telling all of us at first. Are we going to shy away from it? The situation is saying no hope. You are saying there's hope. Where is the hope? What is the magic wand that you use to turn things around? We have allowed things. Look, when we say cancer, we use cancer to illustrate the case of Nigeria. We know what we are doing. We use cancer because this world is full of mundane and reality. There's nothing like ephemeral or no talk about abstracts. No, abstract doesn't work. These things are things we can see, feel, and they are realities. So talking about Nigeria, there's no hope. It's like cancer. When cancer has eaten deep, has gone into the system and destabilized the system, and the medical doctors will tell you, the cancer has pervades, when they say cancerous, meaning the things that has pervaded every nook and cranny, every bones, arteries, and everywhere in the blood system. It is everywhere, and therefore there's no place you can start to fight it. It pervades. You see, so that is how Nigeria is. And somebody is saying that there is hope. There is hope. That's false hope. Peter Obi want to give people false hope. Yes, he has good intentions. Mr. Peter Obi has good intentions. He did well in Anambra State, no doubt. But talking about Nigeria, we have seen the country divided along ethnic, religious lines. The country where you have powerful people who have held the country down for decades. How do you dislodge them? How do you go and convince the Hausa Fulani? How do you go and convince them? So what are we not talking about? How do you do this thing? You have emperors, you have oligarchs, you have powerful people in position of authority. So how are you going to dislodge them? So they will fight and fight to make sure that the country remains the way it is. So, talking about if P2B wins, we are talking about if he wins. The possibility of P2B winning the election is very slim. But if eventually being declared the winner, we doubt if he will do anything meaningful in this country. Yes, because the cabals, the cars, they are powerful. In the northern Nigeria, they say they have up to more than 50% of the population of Nigeria. You have illiterates, people who are not enlightened. They are being controlled by one man. One man is controlling 1 million people, 5 million persons. One person controlling 100,000 persons, 50,000 persons. That's how they have shared it. So once the leaders gather together and say, this is what we do, they go back to their various constituents and tell their people, this is what to do, and that of them will follow. Atiku said it. So they're not enlightened. 90% of them are not enlightened. So that is it. So how do you do about it? Ignorance is high. Illiteracy is high. So what are you going to do about it? So that's why P2B is saying all these things. I'm going to look at him as somebody who is desperate to become the president of Nigeria. Otherwise, merely looking at Nigeria, you will see that Nigeria will not make any other headway. Yes, you will see it. Why has it been? Jonathan did not do anything meaningful. But all his good intentions, he wanted to get it right. He said power will be restored. They will have power. Will generate, adequate megawatts to feed our people, to feed our grid or national grid, what they call it. Well, then what's happening? 4,000. We are still struggling at 4,000 megawatts. You see, over 200 million persons struggling with 4,000. What can 4,000 do? That's why you have epileptic and electric power supply here. So Jonathan said, I will deal with power. If I do not do anything, I will attend to power. He appointed several capacity persons. Yes, technocrats to head it. But all to no avail. He brought in a churchman, former vice chancellor of University of Nigeria, Nsukka, Professor Chinedu Nebo. Yes, with due respect to him, to come and tackle the issue of power. Chinedu came, Professor Chinedu came, and did what he did, and today we're still having epileptic power supply. So what's happening? So to tell you that this country has defied solutions. Yes, people with good intentions has come on board. Professor Batenaji was the person Jonathan first appointed, I think so, before Chinedu Nebo came in. Venerable Professor Chinedu Nebo. Professor Batenaji is a technocrat in that regard. Talking about power, he knows it very well. But he's not doing anything meaningful because of the situation of Nigeria. Nigerian factor.